Hello, everybody. Welcome to Introduction to Bioelectric Fields and Chakras and Auras. My name is Jamie Lynn Thomas, and I am a speaker, an author, and a complex integrative medicine specialist. I'm also the creator of the Vibrochromotherapy program where we're going to actually be talking about bioelectric fields, chakras, and auras. So welcome, everybody. Thanks for rocking it out in this 1-year program and diving deep into your own PEMS goodness and ugliness in the course of 1 month and really going deep with these colors. So please take note of how your PEMS is being affected in the bioelectric field. You may start to realize that there's more resources than you've had at your hands before now, as you start to become more and more conscious and aware. So what is the PEMS? We've talked a lot about the PEMS. You guys know that this is the physical, the emotional, the mental, spiritual parts of a person. And to really heal any type of pain, disconnect, or imbalances, you want to reconnect the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual bodies, and this will reduce pain dramatically. So what is energy healing? Energy healing is a type of universal healing, and it's a type of energy. I go into more detail in the 6-week map to cannabis to self-healing, the volume 1 of Cannabis Energy Medicine. Energy healing itself has a ton of different names. It comes in all different forms, and it has been connected to a ton of modalities. Energy medicine is becoming widespread. And the main thing about energy medicine is that it's all based off of the principles of the life force that permeates the universe. And in different cultures and traditions, we have names for this. Some of the names are prana, mana, chi, ki, orgone, bioenergetics, the bioenergetic plasma, divine breath, cosmic pulse, vital fire, and a ton more names to describe this magical force called universal energy. Now, the nice thing about universal energy is that it has absolutely no dogma. It is the system and the culture that it's from that actually adds the judgment. So this is a really great way of dividing yourself from these factors that can sometimes separate people. Universal energy allows you to tap directly in to that life force of the universe itself. And the different modalities that you're attracted to, those are the ones that are going to be reminiscent of your own personal culture and your judgment of the universe itself. So they're going to be reflective about the way that you are connected to that particular modality. So when I meet a healer and a healer tells me the type of energy modality that they do, I very quickly understand and know from that point in time what type of energy healer they are. What are the principles, their personal voice values as a healer that connect to that particular modality. So for me, early on, one of the very first modalities that I was attracted to was Reiki. And during Reiki, you receive an attunement. There's 3 separate attunement levels, number 1, 2, and 3. Level 1 opens you up to receiving Reiki energy and being able to tap into the ray of light, the Reiki energy, for yourself or for others. Level 2 allows you to send that Reiki energy over long distances. Level 3 allows you to then attune and open other beings, other PEM systems, open them up to level 1, 2, and 3 attunement. So you become a gateway, a tool for the Reiki energy to extend outward into the universe. Now, in this image here, you'll notice that before an attunement, the midline there has a couple of different centers opened up. Well, these are where the traditional 7 chakras lie. And an attunement will definitely activate the chakras. A level 1 attunement will give you a mild degree of activation. A level 2 attunement will open up, expand, and disperse the attunement. So it'll make it more powerful, but it'll also bring it through the body more fully. And then by level 3 attunement, all your cells are infused with the Reiki energy, and you are a column of energy. You are able to tap into that force with the blink of an eye, right? What I love about universal energy is that you want to trust in the intelligence of your own internal physician. Now, the internal physician knows exactly what your PEM system needs and where the life force energy of your vibrochromotherapy or canna essence, any type of color energy therapy that you're doing, will need the intelligence of the internal physician to channel it to the particular area that the PEMS needs support right then and there. And this will allow the PEM system to reconnect. Now, the internal physician allows your light body to become completely activated, and it removes blockages that are holding you back from evolving. And now this is done according to what is up for you now in this moment, and not working past what's good for you. Now, when you work with other healers, it is frequently well known that energy healers can go past the point of where you are working right then and there. They reach deep into your shadow pack, pull out a piece of your junk that you are not yet vital enough to deal with, and shove it down your throat. Now, this is a common practice in things like shamanism, past life regression techniques, soul shatter fracturing techniques, finding the soul retrieval pieces. There are a lot of ways to actually go beyond where the person is. And that is why you need to be discerning about the particular practitioner you're working with. I have met good practitioners, and I have met bad practitioners, and I have been violated by practitioners who thought they were doing the best for me when they actually did nothing but traumatize, violate, and rape my entire physical, emotional, mental, spiritual systems. Now, why do I tell you this? I tell you this because this is common practice. The ego of so many practitioners can override the internal physician of the person they're working with. And I hope that as a vibrochromotherapy practitioner, that you have already learned to deeply listen to your own personal and internal physician, that there's no way that you will ever not listen to one of your clients' internal physicians, because you know how yucky it can feel when you don't listen to your own system's intelligence. So just take that as some wisdom, some guidance, and some reflection, that when you're working with people, to check yourself. Are you going past where the body, where the PEM system wants you to go? Are you reaching deeper? And if you are reaching deeper, why? What exactly is driving you to that point? Is it your ego, or are you just trying to heal them and be the one to get the credit for making that person better right then and there? Because there's a good part to that, and there's the shadow side to it as well, right? We, as true healers, we want to empower, educate, and support the resistance. We are not the only healers. We are a tool, a resource for the PEMS to reconnect to its own internal physician, to repattern its own PEM system, and heal from the inside out. Every single one of us can heal the world if we heal ourselves from the inside out. And I'm a huge believer in that. I really believe that if we continue to do that and work with our own energetic bodies and our own personal auras, and our planes of existence, we can transform this world we're living on to be a much better place. Because what happens with the energetic bodies and auras? You'll notice in this image, there's almost a shell-like appearance. There's different colors surrounding the body, almost as if the body was like a Russian toy. Toy stuck in another toy and stick another toy inside of another toy inside of another toy, right? And it can continue to going on forever. Well, with the energetic bodies, there's some very specific energetic bodies that we work with. Usually the main 7, but we have hundreds of different chakras throughout the system. The ones that we work with specifically during the main part of the vibrochromotherapy starts us at the root earth chakra and works us all the way up into the crown chakra. And then in January, we actually get to work with white, black, silver, and gold chakra colors, and brown as well, to really sense what it's like to go to a whole nother level. Now, each one of the chakra zones uh, and the fields themselves, as they extend outward away from the body, are considered different types of planes. Now, there's the first plane that's the closest to the body. It's the physical plane. It includes the physical body, the etheric body, the emotional body, and the mental body. These are the major part of our physical, emotional, and mental bodies, right? That's 3 out of the 4 pieces of the PEMs are seen in this first part of the bioelectric field. In the second part of the plane, the astral plane, is where we really start to see the astral body. This is where people, when you've done journeys, experiences, psychedelic experiences, is when you're tapping into that astral body. It connects to all places in time and space. It is what we're researching quantumly, how we affect our environment and how the environment is affected by our own astral bodies, right? But they're called bioelectric fields in science. Now there's the final ones, which are the spiritual planes. These are the S of the PEMs, right? The higher etheric body, the higher emotional body, and the higher mental bodies themselves. This is bringing in other parts of the PEM systems, but really we're working on the spiritual side of the PEM system, and they're all integrating together. We're going to talk more about this. You're going to sense more of this as you start to do calibration exercises. And the more that we do the heart center calibrations, you'll really, really notice these, as well as when we do the 7 chakra and 12 chakra body applications at the end of the year. So here's another version of the bioelectric field where you can see the different types of bodies where they break it down, the etheric, emotional, mental, astral, etheric template, celestial body, catheric body, depending upon what form or what history you're looking at, Indian, Vedic, Sanskrit, what part of the world you're connecting to is where you'll get your information for the 7-layer auric body system. I see the energetic bodies, the bioelectric bodies, as Russian dolls. Just like in this image, there's 7 separate Russian dolls, one starting small and one getting bigger, and they all surround the original doll when they're put together. Now, the canna essences specifically, especially flowers, just flowers in general, will activate different aspects of the meridian. So if you're an acupuncturist or ever experienced acupuncture, acupuncture is working along the meridian lines to unwind, unravel, and remove blockages and breakages in these areas so that you can run freely and receive energy nourishment completely along all pathways. Now there's specific meridians that we work with, the conception and governing vessel, are the ones that we will work with quite a bit here towards the end of the year. And each one of the Canna essences will activate specific body meridians. Now, you'll receive more information about this in January, and in some of the specific body care applications, you might be noticing that we're applying the essences right along specific body meridians. Here's another view of the meridians. You'll notice all those little dot points along those lines. Those are the acupuncture specific points. And the meridians themselves, part of the fibromyalgia clinical protocol, that I used all 12 of the Canna essences and a vibrochromotherapy protocol that took me 15 minutes. And then I sent the client home with a take-home remedy, like a lotion, a prepared lotion of the core 4. We're activating and balancing all of the meridians. So in December, you can look forward to learning this beautiful protocol and applying it to your own system. So what are the chakras? What are chakras for beginners? And I really love this image from the Dr. Oz show because it brings in a lot of the other pieces that we've been talking about. When you read the Cannabis Energy Medicine 6-week map to self-healing, there's an entire protocol where you're trying to bring in color power through not only your nutrition, but also through what you choose to wear in your life and put around you. And the root chakra itself is going to be connected and activated by foods like beets, parsnips, rutabagas, apples, pomegranates, and protein of any sort. Protein is deeply grounding. After any type of Canna essence or vibrochromotherapy session, I am always attracted to a form of protein to ground my body back in and let me start to purge and release anything that's not mine, right? Orange, the sacral chakras, seeds, nut, oranges, carrots, pumpkins, right? There's a whole section of this in each one of the vibrochromotherapy books. The solar plexus chakra, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye, and then the crown chakra that's deeply nourished with fresh air, sunlight, and nature. Right? Beautiful things. Now, the 7 main chakras we have at every connection point in the body. Not just the 7 main, but chakras themselves. Chakras connect things. Chakras are little places of geometric coalescing. And I see them energetically as things like Vesica Piki, sacred geometry, the beginnings of the seed of life, which hopefully you've already read about that because I think that was in chapter 1 or maybe chapter 2 of Cannabis Energy Medicine. If not, you may want to go back and review that section. Now, the 7 main chakras themselves are those ones that you keep hearing about: the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. And you'll notice for the Canna essences, we go into much more detail about the heart chakras than just the green front heart chakra, right? And we'll continue to do that as we go through all of the colors of the Canna essences. So on this page here, it tells you a little bit about each chakra, what it is, what its Sanskrit name is, and the type of like yoga that's best serving to that chakra. And the root chakra, Muladhara, and Kundalini, there's survival located at the tailbone, the base of the spine. And the colors are red, black, and the elements are earth, the mineral kingdom, and there's a sense of smell, right? They're affecting the sense of smell. The sacral chakra itself, Svadhisthana, is associated with sensation, and it's located at our sex organs or near our belly button. It is the orange and brown colors. The elements are water and the plant kingdoms, and our sense is about taste. The sacral chakra is all about taste, which is why you can think of sex and taste kind of going together. Food and sex are part of those two blending together. The solar plexus chakra, Manipura, power, it's located between the sternum and the belly. It's yellow, it's fire, and it's connected to the animal kingdom and our sense of sight. The heart chakra, Anahata, is the heart. It's located at the center of the chest, is the main heart chakra, the color green, and it's associated with the color pink and the element air. And the heart chakra is the human kingdom and our sense of touch. The heart loves touch. The throat chakra, Vishuddha, is creative and it's located at the base of the throat. And the color is sky blue and the element is ether. And we're highly connected to the angelic realms and our sense of hearing through the throat chakra. Our brow chakra, the Hanja, is intuitive. It's located in the center of our forehead and it's directly, it's above our eyes. And the color is indigo. And it's highly associated with spiritual visions, archangels, and our sense of telepathy. This is where some say our consciousness lies. The crown chakra, the Sahasrara, is the spirit. It is located at the top of the head, about a foot above the top of the head. And it is the color violet, connected with white, and the element is the cosmic kingdom, connecting to all the cosmos beyond. And I really love this image because this gives you an idea of the sense of energy output you are putting out that we can see through bioelectric scans. So say you're walking through the airport, they have these scans where not only are they doing x-ray, but they're also checking for areas of hot and heat and areas where it's lacking heat. And we found that there's this connection to anger, fear, disgust, happiness, sadness, surprise, being neutral, experiencing anxiety, love, depression, contempt, pride, shame, and even envy. Each one of these emotions, experiences in the PEMS puts out either a heat or a cool energetic signature. And you'll notice that happiness brings light almost evenly throughout the whole body for putting extra heat, extra light in the hands, the chest, and the head itself. And those who are experiencing depression are actually cold and blue, and all of their energy is dark and pooled around their midsection. They are not having their blood flowing all the way through their body. So think about this the next time you experience different sensations in your PEM system and see if you can sense these heat and cool signatures coming off of another person. This is a really beautiful example of all the ley lines, the 22 light pathways that are our human system, and they are coming out from our heart space. This is a really great image. I believe this is from Barbara Brennan's book, and it's showing energetically how when you're in a defense mode and someone is pushing for a reaction. So the woman in this image is pushing for a reaction. She is energetically up in this guy's business and her field is literally attacking his energetic body. And they're connecting and interrelating to each other through their solar plexus chakras. Notice that? See what's happening there. Take a look at these images. Look at the two gentlemen there when they're actually communicating in receptivity, right? They're both receptive. They've actually created their own individual bubbles, but then they've created this beautiful transitionatory highway where through their solar plexus chakras and their lower heart, right? The yellow is the beginning of the heart space. At their yellow, their solar plexus chakra, they are communicating directly to each other, and there's no reaction from the PEM. There's no negative reaction. Think about what happens when somebody's trying to attack you and you are feeling attacked. The woman with her arms out on her side, she is engaging, and the woman who's receiving is very defensive. She's actually pulled in her auric field. It's not even bubbled around her. She's trying to protect herself even with her arms. Her solar plexus is being blocked off because she's actually feeling uh, attacked and vulnerable from this other woman. So notice this, just a very simple energetic reaction there. I like this because it's showing the patient lying down or the client or energy partner lying down and where the chakras are going as they're on the body. And you'll notice that on the back of the body, they're down about 3 or 4 inches than they are on the anterior. So on the front part of the body, they're usually more superior, they're higher up, and on the posterior, the dorsal, the back side of the body, you're actually seeing the chakras themselves at an inferior position. So they're lower than where they would be on the front. And it's usually about 4, sometimes only 2, but usually right around 4 inches. For most people, it's about 4 inches. Anybody who's studying vibrochromotherapy, you want to learn more about the human energy field, this is the textbook of gold. I highly suggest you purchase this book, you read it thoroughly, you use what you can from it, and start to notice the difference from the old generation and the new generation. She is from the old generation. She has a lot of amazing resources in there showing you how to visually start to sense and recognize the bioelectric field and how people are interrelating with each other. But do know a lot of this stuff, some of the stuff in this book is outdated. It's outdated ways of thinking, being, and as new energy bodies with higher vibrations connected directly to source and quantum transformation, we don't need some of the tools that are in the book anymore. Some people in the vibrochromotherapy program may need these tools. They're a great place to start. I started with this book as well, and then quickly learned that only some of what's in that book is what relates to the new generation. So just be mindful of that, be aware. And if you're like, I don't see any of this junk, I have no idea, this book is for you. If you're seeing stuff, if you already can sense energy fields and you know something else is up with people, you're probably part of the new generation. You probably have been tapped in and already given a new template of PEMs to work with that's already deeply connected. So you don't have to do as much work as the previous generation. Thanks, Barbara Brennan, for helping have the other previous generation do all that work, set our foundation, and make it possible for the next generation to go to a higher level. And we're going to continue to do this as we evolve and transcend consciousness in our human forms, right? So here's the Brennan model of the first 7 levels of the human energy field. Some of this works pretty well, and some of this isn't as visual as it used to be. The etheric body, very, very closely connected to the physical body. It almost actually, it sits right on the body. It's like a little veil that just kind of can be pulled off and off of the physical body. The emotional body sits on top of the etheric body, and it is full of junk. This is where most of traumatic work happens. This is where a lot of somato-emotional work happens, through the emotional body. This is also where outset and explosions come from the emotional body. The emotional body is a child. It reacts without thinking. The mental body sits on top of the emotional body and is heavier. It infuses the entire rest of the system with consciousness, right? It is the heavier body. The astral body sits on top of the mental body and expands outward into the world so that it can start to connect and receive information from the environment around us. The etheric template and the celestial body and the etheric template are part of the spiritual plane. They look different to different practitioners, and we'll talk more about those in January. For now, I want you to just deeply focus on the mainly the 7 chakras, and start to become aware of all of these other forms in the system. And you'll notice all the different auric layers, what they do, what their reactions are. This is another image from the Barbara Brennan book that's talking about the different auric layers. I mean, we have 12 auric layers to our body, and I personally see more than that. So I believe that the more we learn and grow and expand our consciousness, so will our bioelectric field. We see this in physics, and we see this physically in the function of the universe itself. The more information that gets stored in the universe, the more plonks that are created to store that data. So just like a computer, when a computer runs out of data, when your modem gets full, or wait, your motherboard, sorry, when your motherboard gets full, when its brain fills up, what do? You get a outside data storage device, or you get a cloud storage device. You just upgrade your ability to your capacity to store more information. And this is exactly what the universe is doing. We are seeing this in live time. The universe is expanding and growing as we are watching it. So don't hold back. Reach for the stars. Gain as much knowledge as you can and expand your PEM system. This is a really good image. It's kind of small. I apologize about it, but I want you to use your imagination and just notice here how the front and the back part of the body, the chakras, almost come at different tilts. And for different people, they'll have different tilts. Men and women, the tilt is definitely dramatic. Men have way more of a tilt on their bodies. Women tend to be a little bit more even. And depending upon the bioelectric field you're working with, it may or may not look like these images here. So don't think that this is the template for every single human. This is just generality here. Now, the bioelectric field of the Earth, we have different magnetic poles. This is something we learn about when we're children, right? One of the very first Earth science classes, we learn about the North and the South poles. And then we draw the axis line, and we look at where the moon is and where we sit with the sun and Mars and Venus, right? We set that all up early on in life. But what we don't tell our young ones is that our own bioelectric fields, our own auras, reflect the aura of the Earth itself. So notice how the Earth has these layers in this image radiating out from the Earth. It's a Earth magnetic field that we can measure with scientific devices. Just like we can measure the human bioelectric field. Now, when we start to look at the interrelation between the two of them, the Earth and the human, we're actually seeing that an out of balance human can affect the Earth in a negative way. And that a positive balanced human or group of humans in one area can affect the Earth in a positive way. So the Earth is literally being affected by human systems. This means we have the potential to co-create with the Earth in a whole different way. The Earth is intelligent, and our own internal physician is intelligent as well. If we can self-heal, we can also help heal the Earth. I want you to look at this one as well. This is a great image from the Heart Math Institute. You'll see this all over their website. They are the leading researcher in human bioelectric, uh, what the human bioelectric field is doing, as well as its interrelationship to the earth itself. And they're doing multiple different projects. I highly suggest you hop onto the website, download everything you can that's free from them, study it like crazy, and purchase their books. I have all of them. I love them. They are absolutely invaluable, especially as a scientist. If you want that science to tell people, okay, the the Earth and a human can affect each other, and that the heart itself, its own bioelectric rhythm, can put out 100,000 times more energy than the brain itself. This is huge. This is why we need to be heart-centered people. This is why we need to connect to our own internal physician through our heart space so that we can utilize this 100,000 times power that we have. Think what would happen if even just a quarter of the world started to use more of their heart space, and we started to transform the way that the earth and humans perceive and interrelate with each other. Give you something to bite on there, right? So this one, this is from a different I found this image online, and I like it because it shows the principles of polarity therapy. And polarity is just another form of energy therapy, right? And it's connected. It has a history with traditional Chinese medicine, and it's been blended with the West and blended with cranial sacral therapy techniques. And polarity is the kind of a newer technique that's blended things together, and it shows the 22 light pathways in this first image, as well as our chakra centers coming together to form almost the Asclepius model, right? And then the air principle, the transverse currents, where energy is moving not only through the tips and toes of the fingers and up and around the body and the head, but moving all the way around it as if it was a cyclone. And then we have the spiral current radiating out from our solar plexus that's coming outward in a spiral of life, like the never-ending circle. This is a Alexander Gray painting. Alexander Gray was one of the very first artists who started to paint to try to represent what he was seeing in the bioelectric field. He wanted to give visual to the magnificence of the earth. Now, he was ahead of his generation. He was a healer who saw much. And just now, as we are learning more and more about the human systems and the bioelectric fields, are we starting to see just how detailed all of his paintings were. I highly, highly recommend any Alexander Gray information. And then this is a like little infographic from the Heart Math Institute that's just showing you the 100,000 times bigger bioelectric field that the heart puts out compared to the brain. And then we can actually, for all of you scientists out there, I'm not going to leave this up there long, but there are some fun math problems here, and you can actually see how bioelectricity, how it's measured in fields, and how biomagnetism is measured as well. So then how you can stimulate and check magnetization, and yeah, just so much fun. I like this because it gives a visual to how the earth and humans are interacting, and how this is happening at multiple scales all the time just to create everything that we see around us. Maxwell's equation is the main equation. The principle of reciprocity is the other one. This is my vision of the earth. I hope that all of you beautiful vibrochromotherapy practitioners will continue to do your self-work. You'll dive deep, you'll feel into your own PEM system, and you'll start to connect to other healers, other people, give them the tools to heal themselves and go forward and transform the earth with a much higher vibration. So thank you so much all for listening, for being part of vibrochromotherapy, and for going out and transforming the world around you. Now, if you want to learn more about bioelectric fields or experience it personally, I highly encourage you to come to a level 1, level 2 Reiki class. You will get to feel and experience chakras and auras for yourself, hands-on goodness in that point in time, okay? So I'm Jamie Lynn Thomas. I love you all so much. If you want some resources, if you want to go deeper into vibrochromotherapy or your own internal physician, I always offer free 10 to 15 minute phone or web consultations. You can call me at either one of those numbers. You can always email me. I am here for you. I am your support, your guidance through the magical world of the PEMS reconnection, the shadow side as well. And if you want to order wholesale or connect anybody to the Canna Essences, you can send them to my website or connect them at info@cannaessence.org. Hope you have a beautiful day, guys, and I love you, and I will talk with you later.